community outdoor assemblies awareness. Okay, there's Sharon was sending something out asking 2 proposals. One, that we show this film in the community outdoor assemblies to promote awareness of Honduras and ELAM. In Baltimore, they're going to commit themselves to doing that, and that's also a very important thing to do. Okay, you know, one of the things that really struck me about this film is just looking at the might of the, you know, imagine the British with all their military might were overtaken by these unarmed warriors from the Garifuna who refused to be slaves. And that reminds me of 1804 and the Haitian slaves who defeated the most powerful military at the time, the French military. And they were, you know, they didn't have the arms and the weaponry and things. And then you see the vast military presence in 2009 after the coup in Honduras, with the tens of millions of dollars of the US and weapons and training that they had. But did you also see how they paled in comparison to the unified forces of the people there? And it just makes me think of what did these examples have that we don't have here in the United States when we watch our children being killed by the police, the lack of health there, our communities, our families dying from the lack of health there. Well, one thing is that the level of understanding is like the Garifuna had, that to know that what they build, what we build, we should own. And then the level of understanding, the level of consciousness to know that we deserve better. And finally, the understanding that that with our unity, we're 1,000 times more powerful than they are, and we should have that revolutionary confidence. So, you know, it's a good lesson for us here in the United States, and to come together, unify, and we don't have to take this when we see these cops coming into our neighborhoods and terrorizing our children. We can do something about it if we unify. We're more powerful than they are. That's one of the great lessons of this film. I want to see what reflections some Berta maybe that you have on this film as well. And
I had to unmute.
yeah.
Actually, I was going to comment on the way that Dr. Luther spoke in that community meeting. And there he is. Wonderful. Welcome.
Oh my goodness.
I really love Luther. I really love the way that, you know, that popular education way of estos ratas uno se va acostumbrando and you get used to it. It just reminds me of so many things here in Puerto Rico. And it was so wonderful, that way of communicating very important and complicated issues in such a popular and friendly way and fun way. So I really, really congratulate you. So now it's, I'm gonna hang up. We want to listen to you, Luther.
Wow. Thank you so much for joining us, Luther. I think this webinar may be a little longer than we thought it was going to be, but I think everybody's going to want to stay on. So, Dr. Luther, thank you so much. You've been such an inspiration. And boy, that directly applies to the way the N-word is used in this country, in the United States. And thug rap and all that kind of stuff. They make young people think that this is theirs. It's not. But anyway, I want to give you the floor, Secretary of Science and Technology.
Good afternoon. And this side of the world is still afternoon. It's not a sunny day, but it's a great day. It's a nice day. It's a great day for us. Then I'm driving back. I'm just finishing a meeting in the Atlantic coast in Honduras, and discussing with the authorities what's gonna be, like drawing a map of science and technology in Honduras. No, I think that's the first time that we are trying to a map of science and technology. And it's a great honor for me to be with you guys. Thank you for joining. And revolutionary medicine, is a way to, energizing us in what we are doing in our struggle to providing healthcare as a human right for the poorest of the poor. This is a very interesting and important project in our life since we started medicine in 1999, and this wonderful project of Latin American School of Medicine is a paradise in the center of the Caribbean, where our dream in Garifuna, Emberá, Maya, Cuna, Nove can become reality. This is a very interesting process, and that was a very good opportunity provided by the Cuban Revolution, who were the first medical doctors who arrived to Honduras in the devastation of Hurricane Mitch. And
I think we just lost him. I think there's internet connection problems. So we'll, when he comes back, we'll get him back on. I saw, there was a question for, oh, there you go. We lost you for a second.
Then, I don't know, we are here again. I don't know if you hear me.
Yeah, we hear you. We just lost you for a second.
Yes, because I think the signal is not very well here. I just stopped in the house to be able to join you guys for a few minutes. Then I was trying to say that when we arrived to Cuba, many of us students from more than 20 countries. Then after that, our school expanded now to 115 countries of the world. Latin American School of Medicine had been graduating more than 30,000 doctors of more than 115 countries in the world. Now we just start our new organization. It's the more largest organization of medical doctors in the world. I'm the executive secretary of international affairs of that organization. And then it's the more largest organization, and it's the more wide organization who have members in 115 countries today, and working to put together all those medical doctors graduating in Cuba. We had our first mission in Haiti in 2010 together. We were 728 doctors from 26 different countries who joined that team in Haiti and worked in Haiti for more than 10 months. First, in the situation of the earthquake, and after confronting the pandemic of cholera in Haiti. And it was something very interesting for us, because it was like giving back to Haiti, what Haiti did for us as a Latin American country, showing us the path of the freedom. Then it was a very interesting, it was very difficult situation, but working hand in hand with our brothers and sisters from Haiti, coming from Latin American of medicine, and being, clear, and having knowledge of our history as a Latin American people, and the contribution of Haiti to the liberation of our countries. Now, it was a very interesting process to join together. Then this project of the First Garifuna Hospital, who has been very attacked by the dictatorship since the 2009, the coup d'etat in Honduras, and the hospital was one of where the convoy of the military arrived to close the hospital, because this hospital is a small and it's in a remote village without electricity, but is confronting and showing the world, or showing Honduras, the challenge of the healthcare system, the collapsed healthcare system in Honduras. It's a healthcare system, very deep in corruption, where even the people who are in power before this new hope come to Honduras, they see the Ministry of Health as a way to drain money to their party. Today, we have like a new hope in this process of the government. The Garifuna Hospital is still alive as a symbol of the resistance of the people. And we used to have 16 doctors there. Then those 15 of them was kicked out by the government of the dictatorship, but we still keep 2 of our doctors there providing free healthcare for people as a symbol of resistance. We have a great hope that our president's gonna be working, that we can expand the service and provide better service to our people. This is a great hope, but we don't left the struggle. We, as a Garifuna people, we know that we didn't get nothing in this country than fighting for it. Then we keep fighting. We have clear that our Libre Party has gained the election for president, but didn't gain the power. Then we still have to fight for the power and to be able to accomplish what people hope that what we can do for them. Then it's a nice honor to share with you guys, and thank you for showing revolutionary medicine. There is another wonderful film that we call Salud. Then who is like a little bit view of what is happening in developing country with the Cuba medical team contribution and the training doctor in Latin American School of Medicine working in their area when they return back to their country. It's a wonderful film. And there is another film, what they call in Spanish, El Horizonte Según el Che, who is what is the Che dream, how he feel as a doctor, and how that dream multiply around the world. Then we participate in those different documentaries to show our view, what we think about healthcare, because we deeply believe that healthcare is a human right. Then we are here. Thank you for the opportunity. If there is some question that I can answer before I can continue driving, I will be very welcome. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so very much. I just want to say we've never had such a high-level official on one of our webinars. Thank you for that, and thank you for bringing.
This is the government of the people. That's
right. And thank you for bringing knowledge to life. And we did have a question for you here. Let's see. It was about. Let's see. It says fantastic film. What was the language on the wall behind Dr. Luther when he was speaking in Spanish? I don't know if you know what, I don't know, not sure what he's referring to.
Oh, that's Garifuna language. This is my mother language. My mother language is Garifuna. I was forced to learn Spanish when I was at the school. Then there was because of the process of the systematic discrimination and exclusion in our country. In my classroom, there was a big sign who say, prohibited to speak Garifuna in this classroom. Then that was the big sign in my classroom, and that was the sign who was common in Garifuna school classrooms, It was a way of the Ministry of Health to repress the Garifuna language. Then, since that time, our leaders and our ancestors and our people, they struggled to keep their language, even under the level of exclusion and discrimination, and the systematic action of discrimination of the government to prohibit the children who speak Garifuna at home, and when they go to school, they were prohibited. They used to put us in knee and rocks with a chair in our heads when they listened to us to speak Garifuna. They did it to me, a few years ago. And this example of where we go to and why we are proud to keep our language as a resistant level, as a sign of resistance. You can imagine that the only African descendant people in all the Latin America who still speak their own language are the Garifuna people. You know, under all this repression, we still speak our language, keep our spirituality, keep our, you know, our values as a Garifuna people. That's why for us, the small hospital where we didn't finish the building yet, we have a 2 big building under, you know, we stopped the construction because we didn't have resources to complete it. But we have 1 building already complete where we provide attention, free attention for people. And one of the biggest questions for us is people asking if this hospital is public and or private. And this is one of the things that we discussed in the documentary. It was very interesting. When they designed the system, they designed it public and private, but they didn't consult us to see if there is another type of view that how we see the things, you know. And now this is the time to express and put on the table that people has their own view, you know, to see the things. Now we don't see it in the private way. Maybe when the government is not, you know, when the government is repressing the people, we don't see it in the government way. We see it in the people's way. And there is one opportunity that how we can design the people ways to do the things. Then Garifuna people always do it in their way because our communities, we have a 46 community in Honduras. Garifuna is a mix between Arabics, Indians, and Caribs. And from that mix between Arabics and Caribs become the Amerindian people. And the Amerindian mix with the Africans and they become Garifuna. And those Garifuna mix with another Africans and become what we are today, a Garifuna people. When the slave masters see that after our ancestors used to teach us, you know, because our grandparents used to sit with us every night to talk about our history, because there was no book, written book. They passed the history by, you know, by mouth. It was very interesting. Then the grandma and grandpa was the professor leads to teach history, you know, and values and the community. They used to talk to us about those big ships who came from Africa with black men and women who were coming for slavery. And those ships was attacked by the Carib Indians and free some of the brothers and sisters who came to become a slave to help them to download the food what the slave master has in the boat. And, you know, and that was a very interesting process because those black people started to liberate the other one who was becoming for a slave and run away to the island of San Vincent and build the first Cimarrones community in the island of San Vincent. And those were mixed with Caribbean and become what we call Garifuna today. That's why in our language is a very African phonetic language, but we find a little percentage of Caribbean, who was the Red Caribs, Black Caribs, and the Arabic Indians, and like what we say when we say like I in English or yo in Spanish, then in Garifuna is ao for men, who is a Carib word, and for woman is nuguya, who is an Arabic word. That's the structure of our language. Then we already launched a process of bilingual education. What we demand the Honduran government and the Inter-American Court, we win the case, and the bilingual education was implemented by theory in our country. We already have almost more than 250 teachers trained in Garifuna to teach Garifuna at the school. I think that's going to be a wonderful opportunity with the new president that we can become, that program can become reality to teach in our language, in our school, in our community. I'm gonna be visiting the first Garifuna's schools with the new Minister of Education, 24 of this month, you know, to see the situation where the dictatorship left our schools, you know. Many of them have been destroyed, and we are launching a process of reparation of the schools and building libraries. And with our Minister of Science and Technology is trying to build science and technology rooms and those levels, and to be able to teach in Garifuna. Then you can learn Garifuna because you can go online now. My nephew developed an app. You can go Garifuna online dictionary. You can get it through Amazon too, but you can download the app Garifuna Dictionary online. You can download the app and learn Garifuna. We are going in high tech in Garifuna too. And this is our language. That's the language of resistance of our people too.
Thank you for providing that example, that floor plan, that blueprint for what we need to do here in the United States and everywhere. And thank you for that inspirational leadership.
And thank to Lucy, because Lucy sent me a text message today.
Yeah.
Then I saw Lucy text message, and she told me they're gonna have an activity with then you know, women's are our commander-in-chief. Then when women call, we're present right there. That Lucy called that I'm here.
That's right. For people who don't know, Lucy headed our delegation, Lucy Pagoda, who lives in New York now, but she's one of the leading members of the Libre Party, in charge, I think, of Canada and the US. So anyway, Lucy's not with us now, but she'll be on another webinar with us. So now, since it's getting a little late, I guess we should wrap it up with Berta and Hernan. You want to give your final thoughts, and then I guess we'll take it away. And thank you, Samira and Dr. Luther, for joining us. It's really such an honor. Okay.
Yeah,
so let's start with Berta.
Yeah, it was wonderful that Dr. Luther was able to join and give us so much information. I just want to thank the people of Honduras because they have given us, particularly in Puerto Rico, a great example of struggle and persistence and flexibility in the forming a united alliance in order to conquer power. And as Luther mentioned, this is an ongoing, this is now the most difficult part of the struggle in Honduras. And now it's to refound. That's really because there will be enemies in the United States. There will be the capitalist enemies of always. And how we have to always keep the news and knowing. And I think that Lucy Paguada can help us that, give some links of news together with Lenis Fajardo that we can follow, because it's not only news. There are news and there are news. There are, CNN, we don't count on CNN to cover the real struggles. So if we can have some both Spanish and English links that we can share with people so that they can follow what's happening in Honduras, I think it's very important to keep up and to be alert any move that the United States does in order to destabilize in any way that we have as an international community to respond in solidarity with the people in Honduras. So thank you very much. Thank you, Luther. Thank you, Hernan. Thank you, John. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, everybody. And Samira, thank you very much. Buenas noches.
Buenas noches. Thank you, Berta. And now,
Buenas noches, Berta. Yes, this is Dr. Luther. This is a very inspirational history about your life, what you have gone through, all the Garifuna people have been through, and that make us to look the way how to fight to keep our roots. Never forget our mother language. I've been working with some Cherkess people and trying to make them never forget where they come from, and I will show them this this history, this video, in our next meeting to show them how we have to fight, how the Garifuna did it. We have to do it too, because we never have to lose our roots. Fight for where we come from and to be there always. Thank you very much for that, and we will keep fighting until the last day.
Thank you, Hernan, so much for coming on.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for your solidarity, guys. I'm heading back. I still have some few
Okay.
we still have some 6 hours to drive.
Oh, wow.